Y'all ready?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
All right. So, Air 1 SRU Phase 1. Intention. Prepare basics of Air 1 SOPs and training, and basics of SRU training. Phase 2, we'll go ahead and, like, you know, expand on these things. Air 1. At present, Lane will be the only one that will be Air 1 certified, along with the commissioner. No other individual should be flying Air 1. Air 1 will only be utilized in street races. The primary job of Air 1 is to assist ground units in A, identifying whether or not vehicles driving in formation are in a race or are not in a race. They will be identifying circuits. They will be identifying whatever the fuck you call going from point A to point B. And put that in parentheses and replace it with a word that's accurate.
I believe the term sprints.
Sprint, yes.
I personally like whatever the fuck you call point A to point B, but I could see how that might be unprofessional.
It's the draft SOPs.
That is going to be handled by an individual that will be in the passenger seat, in the on the camera. So the observation, so Lane or commissioner will oversee that person in the passenger seat and help direct them to identifying the circuit and identifying the sprint and identifying whether these vehicles are in formation. But and some of the shit you're gonna have to like jumble around, right? Because I'm just talking. All right.
Yeah, we're just getting your assumed
Yeah,
process, and
we
we'll,
got you.
We'll polish it from there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll circle back to Air 1. Let's start the SR. Let's open up the SRU one, because I think this actually makes it easier if I think about this in the way it's gonna get handled. Officers can call over radio if they suspect a race may be taking place. Suspicion is either A, through a specific dispatch call.
Hello, Habibi.
B, suspicion can be from seeing 4 or more vehicles driving in formation following the same set of turns. Minimum amount of turns should be 3. This is just a estimate. Use your best judgment. If an officer calls out a race, it will be medium priority. Temporarily. It's going to be temporary for now. Up to 4 units can attach into this race. The primary vehicle on the chase will, if available, call for Air 1 support. Air 1, as mentioned previously, will be an assist. If ground units VCB on any of the target vehicles or the race, they are to notify officers over radio. If Air One hears it, Air One goes back home. Air One will not be maintaining the chase at this time. The goal is to train our officers on the ground via Air One as to how to pick a target and how to garner probable cause for a specific vehicle called out by make, model, and license plate as being involved in a race, with the objective of impounding said vehicle and capturing the driver. If the driver is identified, if the driver gets out of that vehicle and happens into another vehicle, our only goal objectively is to get that singular driver. We do not give a fuck about the other individuals unless exorbitant resources are available. The goal is his vehicle, driver's vehicle, and the driver. Nothing else matters. How RS and PC will be built. RS will be things like multiple cars, driving in a pack. They hit about 3 roads in conjunction. That's RS. What else is RS? A dispatch call notifying us of a race, and we happen to see a pack. That's still RS. Why? Because chances are they probably kicked off well away from the dispatch call. In other words, by and large, our RS is going to be nothing more than RS until the following conditions are met. We witness, in the case of a circuit, we have the circuit already identified and noted down by an SRU lead. Without an SRU lead confirming a track, it will not be used by us in any court case. If anyone asks why, it's because we don't need some fucking random bozo cadet who wants to be a goddamn hero pulling up his MDT and doing some dumb shit. Right? So in other words, someone that, is overseeing these things is going to have to verify that, yeah, that's a track. Right?
Got it.
B, during said race that is suspected to have occurred, a pack of vehicles is seen completing a circuit. That would mean at minimum 1 lap, followed by those vehicles continuing on that same course. Anything short of that is simply RS. Can it be articulated beyond that? Sure. But how many lawyers do we have in this department? None. We ain't got time for that shit. I don't want any bozo charges getting thrown on people. Before that is just like reckless evading. Or reckless driving, excuse me. If that's even in the penal code. Is it?
I believe reckless driving is, yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. The third is in a sprint. PC can be established if, once again, pack of vehicles following, a number of, turns, right? And then then there is, we get eyes on what will be a post lineup. In other words, racers like lining up at the end of a race. Let's kind of talk about objectives, right? The objective in the way that we respond to these races is it should be at the same priority as the store robberies. Once again, medium priority. The goal is to go after the individual in last place. Why? Because, quite frankly, we're not good enough to go any further than that. We might be, but we need to be confident before we start going after first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. So we're going to go after a number like 25 or whatever the fuck it is. Now, it doesn't matter if it's smoking. It doesn't really matter or whatever. It's got to be you target last place. If they're so dog shit that they're falling behind a smoking vehicle, then probably that smoking vehicle is still too good.
Sounds like they deserve to be arrested, sir.
Precisely. They're in last. We're going to grab them. We're going to get good at it.
Prize.
And only after we get good at catching last place, we're going to start kind of pushing the buck a little bit. Right? Let's start with our training wheels. See how we do good, get good at that, and then bring it up a notch. Right? We start going after first place, second place, or doing dumb shit like that. You know what happens? We punch well beyond our weight class. And, well, then it's just depressing. Because now we got no arrest, we got no vehicle, and we look like a bunch of clowns. Right? In the pursuit with said target vehicle, as I just described, what the characteristics of it will be, we will only be applying pressure. We will outdrive that driver that thinks he's good at doing what he is. You with me? We will outdrive him by pressuring him. Pressure him into taking a bad corner. Pressuring him into driving a local. Pressuring him to spin out. If the vehicle spins out, you box it. No spikes, no pits. The only time pits and spikes will be authorized is if that individual gets inside of another vehicle. If the vehicle is left behind, we should have at least two ground units, whether two like actual officers with that vehicle, so it gets brought for impound. It needs to be impounded.
Real quick, so just to make sure I got that right, you said at the time of the car swap, 2 officers stay back to handle the car?
Yes.
Got you.
If we need to attach, like, units to do cleanup for impound, we can do that, right? But, like, we need to leave, like, you know what? We'll leave one of the 4 behind, and then they'll call in a backup unit.
Okay, so 1 unit, call in a backup. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. That way that they don't get shot up over getting the vehicle taken back, right? While at the same time, we're only chunking off 1 of the 4 because the other 3 have knowledge of the chase thus far. So breaking off 2 that have knowledge and replacing them with 2 is probably a bad idea. So once the units that are coming in to help impound the vehicle have done impounding it, they go back 10-8. They do not join the chase.
That's important. All right, let me write that just to make sure.
People that are assisting with the impounds need to be notated because those are individuals that are showing promise and interest in SRU by doing the bitch work, right?
No, absolutely. All right.
And
That makes sense.
the thing is that street racing goes beyond just, chase fast. There's a lot of investigative prongs that go into this, right? Identifying who's setting up races, identifying who's making races, identifying the tracks, identifying where the money is going, right? There's a lot to it. So, this goes well beyond just, how good is your driving, right? So let's go back to the swap.
Yeah.
If a swap takes place, hits and spikes will be authorized. They'll be authorized, let's say, 30 seconds after the vehicle goes out. It is no longer a pressure game. We've already won the pressure game. Now it's about the capture. We got your car. Now we want you. We don't care about the driver. Driver is going to be low priority, like the pickup driver. But the driver of the original vehicle is going to be high priority. You with me?
Yeah, I got it. I got you.
For command only. : if any of these cringe fucking racers, if they exist, start to blast cops while we are following this set of SOPs, I want their blood. I want their properties. I want everything they have in their bank account. I want them rated. I want their mother rated. I want their dog rated. I want that dog's bone. Hell, I might even fucking kill the guy's dog. Because here's the thing.
Oh.
If you bring fucking guns to this shit, all right, and turn what is just reckless driving into God knows fucking what, well, we're going to shut that shit fucking down. Second, command only. Red telephone. We need to, don't do this now, obviously. We will want to try to get in touch with those that are in the racing scene. We don't need to know who they are. We just need a line of communication with them. So that if such events happen, we can dial it back. I do not think racers want guns involved. We do not want guns involved. We just want those vehicles stopped. Now, it's going to happen from time to time, right? But I'm specifically pointing at cases where someone's pussy gets upset because they took a line poorly and, I don't know, they're boxed up on a vehicle and they don't want to lose their car. If you're willing to put your life on the line not to get like a impound charge, well, you know what? You're risking your fucking house and the rest of your life. We draw that line early to keep the balance. At least on our end.
Chief, just to make sure I got
Yep.
this correct. For command only, any cringe races start to blast cops while we're following this set of SOPs. You want their blood, their properties, their cars. You want them rated. You want their mothers rated. You want their dogs rated. You want their dog's bone. You may even kill their dog.
Correct.
All right. Second, command only. Get in touch with leaders in the racing scene so we can open lines of communication if shit hits the
Command
fan.
and
Someone's
command will
pussy-
do that. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah, for
Yep.
command only, yep. Someone's pussy gets upset because they took a line poorly, they're boxed up on a vehicle, they don't want to lose their car, they open fire, etc., etc. Draw the line early, keep the balance.
Yep. Exactly.
Noted.
All right. Our objective is, once again, capture the vehicle, apprehend the driver, apply pressure. We will outdrive. We will outperform. We will outcom. As this unit develops between me, Lane, and the commissioner, we will start to appoint people who will start to take on some of these responsibilities, and that is how we begin to develop phase 2, depending on performance. But for the time being, anyone who wishes to attach to a street race can. There will be no special priority given outside of me, Lane, the commissioner, and Bussin.
Captain Sida?
Correct.
All right.
This is to encourage everyone that the way we operate here is that we're not going to make some fucking, unit that only, some people can participate in, or that you have some kind of magical skill set. Every type of officer that has become an officer in this police force can qualify. If they are interested, we will let them attempt to be involved. We don't need any high level of, let's just call it, certification at this stage, because we want to see who can perform. Because I'm sure there's a couple cops, like I haven't been in this precinct before. I'm sure you guys know some folks that are X Air 1, X SRU certified. What did you call it here? Did you call it SRU?
We didn't have
We just had
SRU, sorry.
interceptor.
Yeah, just heat interceptors.
Oh, it's going to get juicy then.
Yeah, this will be
okay.
brand new for everybody.
All right. I don't want, I'm sure there's some people that are great drivers, this and that, but they might actually be dog shit for SRU if all they can do is drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the focus here is much bigger. And the fucking weirdo that I think runs this race scene, I mean, it might be one of his stooges, tried to blackmail me, only to find out I didn't give a shit about the blackmail. And, my point is, there might be dangerous entities out there, right? And last thing we're going to do is put ourselves in a position, a growing, budding department, is having like Osama bin Laden's racing cousin, come bomb the building. Understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did we talk about Air One breaking off if ground units lose sight of the race?
Yes, Chief.
Okay.
Yeah.
They should only actually Air One should only break off if the ground units lose sight of the chase after the race has ended. I don't mind Air One being in the air during the race. I think that's well within reason. Yeah, we're going to do that. Air One is going to be the one that's going to be identifying the target unless me, the commissioner, Lane, or Bussin lead on the ground. Air One's like main job right now is pretty much training our expectations from the air.
All right.
Hold on one second.
Oh, this is Janitor Mickey of Mission Row Police Department.
Detective, I need you on the in the mezzanine.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
All right. I want you to just clean up in the corner somewhere until I'm done.
The mezzanine?
Yeah. Third floor. Talk to Tilly. Be like, hey, Knight called me. He said he needs to clean up the upstairs secretary desk where he's taking notes. She'll know what I'm talking about.
Got it. I'm there.
All right.
Goodbye.
I'm great at transcribing. I type really fast, but I suck at SOP making pretty shit. So
Yeah,
that's
whereas
your
I'm-
part. Yeah.
I'm the opposite side of the coin.
I'm
My-
the
I can
writer.
type
You're
fast, it's
the
not great.
prettier.
Yeah.
Okay.
My slidology is great. Like I do
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time.
So I'll have you guys like do what you can with this, and then we can kind of circle back to it once it's in the pretty form.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you a draft.
All right. Hell yeah.
We can draft it up and send you the draft and then go from there.
Okay. Easy. Good shit. I think that covers everything, to be honest.
Okay.
Did you want Air One doing call outs for the ground units or ground units only?
Well, that's comms.
Yeah. So Air One's gonna give comms. It's only gonna give comms up until ground units lose sight of the target vehicle. After the race is over. So if the race is over and ground units lose sight, then Air One goes home.
Okay. Air One doesn't provide comms the moment that ground units are VCB on it.
Correct. At that stage, we are just extending a reckless chase throughout the city unnecessarily.
I like that. Gives all the ground units practice too.
That's exactly it, right? We maintain the pressure on them. It helps us identify who the good drivers are, among other things. If ground units, actually, let's throw this in here. If the ground units reobtain contact, Air One also goes down if a swap occurs. Air One can stay in the air, let's say 1 minute after a swap, but after that minute, Air One goes down. So that's the second condition. Third condition is that if ground units re-establish contact more than a minute later, Air One does not return. Once Air One is RTB, it's RTB until the next race.
All right, let me make sure I understand that. So you're saying Air One, once ground units lose sight, they VCB. Air One's got up to a minute for the ground units to reestablish contact.
No. So, sorry. What I meant to say is, if ground units VCB after the race is over, Air One will RTB. Once RTB'd, they're RTB. The third is if they get into a pickup vehicle, Air One can stay on it for a minute and then RTB.
So
Okay,
at the
all
end
right,
of the
I
day,
got
no
it.
matter what, Air 1's going to RTB after a minute after a swap.
Yeah, so
Yes.
essentially,
He's
gonna
yeah,
clean
they
up,
don't stay
okay?
on the swap chase.
Perfect,
They
thank
RTB
you.
after a minute. All right,
They break and RTB. Okay.
got you.
All right. If anybody demands SRU, any of that shit, you can put this at the top. Wants to say, where's the interceptor? Can I be it? Can I be this? They will be blacklisted for 2 weeks. That should be right at the top.
Okay.
You will be approached for Air 1 and SRU. Do not ask for it. Do not converse about it. Do not talk about who would be good for it. Unless you want to be blacklisted.
All right, if anyone asks to join the unit, they'll be blacklisted for joining for 2 weeks. You'll be approached. Do not ask for it. Do not converse about it. Do not discuss who will be good for it.
Yep.
All right.
All right, easy.
And we'll put that up the top.
And also put in there if that you begin to dig into these racers, just like any other investigation, you actively start looking into folks, what they're doing, etc., you are subject to being fired.
All right.
Okay.
Easy.
Second document. Hey, janitor, can you come over here real quick? Can you mind scratching my back while I'm having this conversation? You don't leak, do you?
No,
right.
of course.
All right. Second SOP document. Investigations. You gonna scratch my back?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
All right. Sorry. All right. At the very top, no investigation will be started without explicit command approval. Any regular on-duty investigation should always consist of information obtained via happenstance through patrolling and through responding to calls. For those who do not understand these words, that means do not actively look into who's a part of what gang, what their colors are, what their labels are. None of that shit. You are still training. If you want to be a pretend detective and potentially get this in, destroy a fucking possible investigation that an actual detective is looking into, or potentially get us sued to death, or potentially end up having gangs gun us down because, I don't know, Cowboy Mick Dugan or whatever the fuck, is trying to be a superhero, you are subject to being fired. For those who are interested in investigating, continue to learn to be a good officer and stay tuned. End of message.
All right.
All right. All right. Awesome.
Got that. Word for word.
All right.
That's just all you want that second document to be? Just that
Yeah,
message?
we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Easy. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
easy.
And we
So
can
just
still
let
put
me know
something
once it's
together.
all like, sorted out into a doc, and then let's throw it into a report actually.
Okay.
How do you want these? Do you want them like in a report format in our NBC? Do you want 'em as a
Actually, you know what?
PowerPoint
Put
or
it into a
doc?
Word doc, and I'm gonna talk to Payne and see if we can get like command reports or some other report type where we can throw like SOPs and stuff in.
All right.
And I'll
Okay,
so-
as a-
also ask for a filter.
Yeah, do you want it as
Chief,
a
is he wiping your
PowerPoint
ass?
Instead?
Oh, he's scratching.
Oh, it's just a lower back
Oh.
scratch. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Do you want it as a PowerPoint or as a Word doc?
Word doc. Yeah.
Word doc? Okay, can make it happen.
Yep. And you know what? If you could make one slide, actually, for each, that might not be bad, just so we can maybe slip it into our SOPs so every cadet knows if you try to investigate and be pretend detective, you're going to get fucked. You know?
I think we'd absolutely. Well, I think the first one might be maybe 2. We could probably put it on
Okay.
one.
I was gonna say. I can
Yeah,
get
I meant
between
one
a
for
2
each
slice.
Yeah.
or something. Or, you know, use your best judgment. And then,
Okay. Yeah, we could do that just so we can
Alright.
slide it in. That'll make it
Yeah.
easier.
okay.
So it's all in one doc,
All right. Hell yeah.
one link.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
No
of
problem.
course. All right.
When
Easy.
would you like this done by?
As soon as you can comfortably do.
Okay.
So don't overextend
Sounds
yourself,
like-
but sooner
we'll
the better.
work on it. We got it.
Yeah,
Alright.
we'll work on it.
All right. Easy.
All right.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Chief.
All right. All right. So you had a complaint about Tilly.